I've just lost picture on the GameCube and we're back. Okay. Thanks, boys. GameCube's dropping out on me. There we go. So this is Sonic Heroes. I like this game, don't worry about it. It'll settle, I'm sure. This is Sonic Heroes for the GameCube. I'm going to be doing Team Sonic unrestricted today, and we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. So I'll count you down on go. 3, 2, 1.
Let's blast through with Sonic speed!
So,
Alright!
So Sonic Heroes, just in the context of 3D Sonic games, is pretty unique because you'll notice we're controlling a team and not just a singular character. So quite a lot of this game is centered around team play and catering to the strengths of each member. So you'll be able to switch between who they're playing as.
Alright!
This game also has quite a bit of techniques.
Got it!
That's what the category that we're playing today, which is unrestricted. We have unrestricted and limited text selection. Limited text sort of gets rid of a couple tricks that can be a bit fiddly, like the bot boost, which we'll see shortly.
Got it!
And there are a few others like pinball launching and bingo and highway skip, which will also come to the run later. So this is a very trick-focused run. Lots to get into, but we're going to be seeing more. This is Seaside Hill. And it starts off pretty normal. This is a nice little trend with Sonic Heroes levels, a little loop skip. The levels usually start quite normal, a bit of movement, and then something absolutely deranged happens, which we'll be seeing in a moment. So this is a bot boost coming up. So I'm going to knock Sonic out of formation. Have to wait for these iframes to end now.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now he can gain a huge amount of speed and just skip the first trolley section like that. You're going to be seeing the bot boost a lot over the course of the run. So the bot boost is very easy to set up with Team Sonic. It's technically frame perfect, but I'm not going to be hyping that up. It's very, very free. So because of Knuckles' hitbox size, it's very easy to just sort of float down on top of egg pawns and avoid hitting.
Tails, flying enemies are all yours. Attack them
lost
with
the game for a moment, and now we're up in the skies. Thank you, Lacey.
I didn't touch it.
No, I'm saying thank you for being so prompt. So, regaining composure. The rest of Seaside Hill here is just using team movement to our advantage. So you'll be seeing that I'm switching to Tails when I need to go high, Knuckles when I need to break blocks or defeat enemies, and Sonic for general speed. Something about team formation is you'll see that I switch backwards through to Tails by going to Knuckles first, and this is because it preserves a lot of Sonic's speed going into it. If I were to switch straight to Tails, it would actually halt all of my momentum.
Leave it to me.
Got it. Got it.
Coming up here, we have an instance of a cannon. Cannons are interesting in this game because depending on who is the leader of the team formation, you get different directions. So if you enter this cannon as Tails, you just fly straight up. If you pick Sonic, I think it takes a more like laborious path through a bunch of springs, and with Knuckles you actually get to aim freely, which we do use later on in the run, because it sets us up with a very favourable angle. This is an example of a trolley section, which is what I skipped earlier with the bot boost. These can be handy to get things called power claws, which aren't particularly relevant now, but you'll see these little dots on the heads-up display on the top right. Those denote each character's level. Those will change different properties about them. It's a shame I didn't get the kick there.
Well, you did kick.
I did kick, but I didn't get the good kick.
Yes.
Points for trying.
Got it.
Leave it to me.
Oh, unlucky. So we can also carry momentum there and jump up through this island's shaped like a whale, and they have like a little blowhole you can fly up through. But that's alright, we'll just take the other path. Alright, Seaside Hill. So something else about this game's structure, it will be in a pattern of 2 regular stages and 1 boss stage, and it will also alternate through different types of bosses each time we reach one.
Cute.
So we'll have another stage and then our first boss.
Get an E grade for.
That was
for
very
excellent.
cool.
That's for excellent? Okay.
Alright, so Ocean Palace, once again, we're sort of just moving through the level and taking advantage of our team rotation, but we do have another bot boost. So I'll probably just begin an explanation of the bot boost because there's a bit to it. When you're in the flight formation and you knock Sonic, you make Sonic take damage on the frame, Knuckles touches the ground, he will exit formation and sort of have bop states in a very unique, unique properties. And what that allows us to do is, if we were to attempt to fly, we would return to Sonic's position. But if we put a normal between us, so a normal being like a wall or a ceiling, will actually fling us off in the opposite direction.
We better get moving.
Yeah, we got a cables issue. That's power, Lacey.
You sure that's Bella? Alright. Time to get rough. Let's do this. Get out.
This is the real power of teamwork, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
I'd like to take this moment not to endorse the GCHD Mark II. Alright.
Got it.
So, thank you very much, Lacey.
That's fine. I'm just gonna steal this turn like the rest of them.
Fantastic. So something I'm doing here, I'm kicking off like this. It looks a lot like a spin dash if you're familiar with Sonic. That is the rocket axle. We can carry speed out of that into slopes and to go very high. You can also just use it to cross gaps. Sonic also has this kick, which we can use to fly off of ledges and basically buffer grounded state, so we can jump out of those kicks. And just lets you cross wide gaps a lot more easily.
Yeah, so what's important is to get the rocket excel for speed and then do the kick, so that you're in kick state to be able to jump. If you just rocket excel off, you're not going to have that grounded state.
Correct.
Slowly descend to your death.
That's it. Here's our second bop boost. So it's important that I stand sort of on where those tiles meet and get this enemy to stand just right. And then we just skip all of those turtles. Fantastic.
That's also one of the best visual bot boosts to actually see how fast you're going through what looks like the stage. Because a lot of the times you don't actually see the stage.
Yeah, you just sort of get to look at the skybox sailing by at a high speed, but it's very difficult to actually understand how much distance is being covered. Absolutely. So there's an instance of that buffered grounded state, kicking off that ledge and then jumping out of it, and saves us having to break all those blocks as Knuckles and do the path as intended. Here I'm going to cast a tornado. So this is this is a very silly thing. When you start a level, Sonic will begin the tornado at a certain point, and it's always relative to what's forwards from your starting position. So if you know where you're facing, you can cast it against objects, and it cancels the tornado animation and just boosts you upward. So use that to just get over that block. Lovely.
Looks like his buddy has joined the party.
I'm falling!
Whoa!
Let's get out of there. Okay, so that's Ocean Palace done. And coming up is Egghawk. So Egghawk is the first of 3 Eggman bosses in this game. And they all function reasonably similarly, so they're on a looped track, and they move away from you sort of on an invisible rail. But if you get too far away from him, whether that is you're standing still or you go too far in front, he will charge you down. So we can take advantage of that to go backwards to an arena where he'll land, and basically coerce him into landing by jumping up very high, and that puts him up in a position where he will, his AI will basically say, okay, I'm up here, I've done a lap, I need to land.
I think you got that backwards.
And then we just fire dunk him to death. Just gonna go back and make sure that we get this invincibility.
Yes. Very carefully made sure you got the invincibility.
Oh, that was a quit.
Quit.
Yeah, lovely.
Yep.
Don't use the analog stick on menus, ladies and gentlemen.
Get to see that cutscene again.
We do.
Just in case
We
you guys
do.
didn't get the riveting lore.
So if I'm understanding this right, he's in the...
Yes,
Yes.
a bird-like contraption.
Alright, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well done.
Thank you.
So as I was saying, there we go. I'm going to jump up here. That's not high enough.
Also didn't fire.
Yeah.
The thing about the fire dunk is Knuckles has to be mad enough to be able to actually execute the move.
So the invincibility is handy here because we're right up against the boss, and you can do contact damage like that. And when we're invincible, we get to do the contact damage back. So I'm just going to grab a ring here so I don't die.
You already had a ring.
I did. I'm paranoid. There we go.
This isn't the end!
So Knuckles does the most damage.
All right!
Generally speaking, yes. But Tails is also very useful. They're all quite useful as you level them up.
Yeah, Tails needs level 2 to be able to do good damage.
Yeah.
And there's no power cores
Ready
in that
for the
stage.
junk pile.
There will be later on in the final boss.
Cool.
Yes. Alright, so this is my favorite zone casually coming up on. It's a futuristic city, so Grand Metro. I'm going to be beginning with something called a light dash cancel. So once again, we're just taking advantage of keeping our momentum as Sonic by switching to power, and then we're going to switch back to Sonic. And it basically, at the end of a light dash, the game goes, okay, you've run out of rings to light dash along, I'm going to bring you back to speed cap, like lower you down. But by switching to Knuckles, we basically tell the game, well, no, we're on someone else now. So, there we go. A little bit slow.
The beauty of Sonic
Better than
games,
Form.
they're literally glitching behind you.
We're not going there, are we? Yes, we are. Got it. Here we go. Ready, go.
Those machines are sucking the energy off the rock.
So with Bop Boost as well, when you're in the Bop Boost state, if you Thunder Shoot, which is pressing B as tails, it will actually end the Bop Boost state. So right here, I'm going to go for a Bop Boost.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Yay.
Terrific. So that just ends it early, and we can go straight to the end here. And as great as this looks, it actually only saves about a second, because we have to fall for a bit of time. There we go. And I do want to make sure Sonic is leveled up here. One, because it makes his damage very good. And I'm going to want Sonic's level 3 upgrade later in the level. And that is because level 3 with Sonic, level 3 with all characters will change a unique property, but it's especially good with speed classes. I'll explain the door clip at some point, I'm sure. But I'll keep going with levels here. We can use Sonic's homing attack to instantly cast tornadoes. And that's going to be very useful on these poles that you cast Tornado on to basically just ascend through the level that feature quite prominently towards the end. So there's another Bop Boost here. Oh, I didn't even hit him. Yeah, that's okay. That's a very short one. It just takes you across this platform here, so you don't need to do any of this. But this is a good opportunity to demonstrate. Good opportunity to demonstrate the homing attack on the pole. There's the kick more people need to do.
Yes. You have level 3.
And you know what? I don't know why I did that, but you can also cast tornadoes with the Rocket Axle, which I've just gotten the hang of and started enjoying very much. Now here we have rail switching, which is very spammy and will feature very prominently later. But I'm basically switching between power and speed classes to constantly restart the grind, and it basically accelerates us to top speed a lot faster than just grinding normally. It's not something you want to spam constantly on rails, because it will just sort of slow you down and bring you back to, I want to cast a tornado here, to that speed you had. So you can actually go beyond the speed that rail swapping gives to you by just grinding normally. But yeah, on those particular rails, it's just good to get a couple quick switches in because they're so short. Any donations, Wesley?
No, we have no donations.
No worries.
No new ones, anyway. We've had lots of donations.
Barely made.
Alright, it's coming up as Power Plant. This is a pretty cool level. It's also got probably the most unique Bop Boost of the early game, or the first half. And that will be the Tortoise Bop Boost.
Turtle, Bob.
Well, it's got like regular, it's got tortoise feet though. They call it Turtle Bop, but it's categorically wrong.
Yeah, it's a turtle bop off the tortoise.
Oh, okay, sorry, my mistake. So an interesting thing we can do with Knuckles is in Triangle Dive here, our teammates sort of count as hitboxes against the enemies. And we can use that to damage that flapper there. Just a nice little bit of movement. Something you're going to see a lot in this game that we've decided to deem, that I find pretty cool, is something we've decided to deem common sense skips. Where there will be geometry in the level that it's very clear you can just ignore if you have the right class, but the game's trying to tell you to be someone else. Could have just taken a pulley. So this is going to be a Flight Excel jump. If you do a Flight Excel, the moment you touch the ground, you fly upwards with your grounded state, and then you don't get it and give up and decide to kill the enemies instead. But yes, very handy if you get it. A bit slow if you keep going for it.
But yeah, it's basically just moving you upwards before you start entering fly state, because you can only move up once you start flying by a set amount.
Yes. Yeah, so not only is flight limited, it's also height capped. So when you start flying, you'll see that I'm not ascending any further after a certain time there. So that allows us to basically ascend, like, double the cap.
See, here's the cap here. You can see how he's not going higher anywhere there.
You just Yoshi'd your friends.
Oh, well, they'll be doing plenty more of that in the casino area. So I'll go for one here while that's... Oh,
There
nice.
we go.
Terrific.
This is one of my favorite pieces of tech for a casual viewer, using the tornado onto that enemy just to grab the pulley. Not actually interested in hitting the enemy whatsoever, but you get warps to the enemy by using that attack.
Yeah, it's terrific. Basically taking advantage of how the animation spins Sonic around it in a circle. So really, really nice. Just going to try to get another Flight Excel boost here. Got it. And that just means we can kill those guys before the elevator can stop. Just keep moving. So we're coming up on the Turtle Bot boost here very, very shortly. And it's basically manipulating a regular bot boost to move vertically. So I will be trying to bop Sonic off of the side of the tortoise, because that's what it is. And redirect myself to face forwards. And shoot Knuckles into this floating path above me. Just need to wait for him to settle down. Trying to get Knuckles back under formation. So this is what you don't want, is the tortoise getting aggroed, because he will just keep shooting for a bit.
Let's go! Let's go!
Nice, got it.
Yep.
Okay. So, it's not over yet. So I can still be approaching with not enough height, but the setup there looked good. I should be fine. So this skips a lot of platforming just throughout the level and an entire elevator sequence, which is basically an auto-scroller. So nice. Yep, we got it.
Beautiful.
Excellent. And I casted a tornado to celebrate. Terrific. Alright. So the rest of the level is, once again, it's that common sense skip coming into play here. Just switching to flight and realizing, oh yeah, flight jumps higher and can fly, as the name may suggest. So, you know, why land on these platforms? Let's just do this. Easy. So this is a good reason to have Sonic leveled up here as well. If you don't have higher damage on Sonic, you want at least level 2. Those flappers actually won't die, and you have to be very, very careful about where you point your homing attacks from then on, because there's a chance he will double back and get killed by the lava. And I know this because I game over here as a child, doing exactly that. So
It's interesting, the lava's not rising. It seems to only be rising when you're going up.
yeah, so it is rising at its own rate, and the platforms are basically flashing and then sinking. But it will also it's scripted to rise up at certain intervals.
Alright, so the next boss is the next kind of phase of bosses, which are the team fights, where you fight other teams that you can play as in the game. And so effectively you're fighting what is almost the same properties as you, so it's a really evenly balanced fight.
Yeah, very tough. It's sort of like your rival fights in action games where they have everything you have and they really push your skills to the limit. So I'm going to focus here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold right.
This time you're mine. I'll do my best.
Amy, knock it off.
And I'm going to keep holding right. And that's an IL
Are you
record.
playing with that girl's heart again, son?
So yeah, the team fights are very busted, and you can manipulate their AI in tremendously silly ways. On the PAL version of the game, you can actually just sit on team rows and hold absolutely nothing, and they will jump over you and die. So, brilliantly thought out boss. So this is pinball table launching, which is another one of the unrestricted techniques. It looks very funny, so I'm going to begin by not saying a word and just allow the crowd to speculate at what exactly is happening.
Feeling lucky?
So this is the third group of stages, the pinball stages, and the thing is that in Sonic 3, Knuckles is a villain, so he kind of embraces his origin story here as a villain.
We're just gonna kill him.
Pretty cool.
Leave it to me.
Not enough height. This is why we send him down there.
Punishment.
Yeah, back into the pinball mines you go, Tails.
In a ball, press the A button to hit it with the flippers. Press the L button or R button to control the flippers.
We'll see if that can work. That's a bit sketchy. No, if you see the dice, it's over.
This entire city is like a giant casino.
The buildings and roads are all part of the pinball table. Pretty cool.
So helpful.
Leave it to me.
Sketchy again.
He's not working hard enough.
No.
Drop him.
And while turned into balls,
We'll give him some playtime before we send him back.
slightly change
Because
the
why not?
direction of the ball.
Leave it to me.
Apparently not.
While turned into a ball, press the
He's
A
not gonna
button
like
to
what
hit
comes
it with
later,
the
I
flippers.
tell you what.
Use the L button or R button to control the flippers.
Leave it to me.
Goodness.
While turned into a ball, press the A button to hit it.
I think he's revolting from all the practice you've done earlier today.
He just wants us to know how to control the
Leave
flippers.
it to me.
He's very enthusiastic. No.
This entire city is like a giant
Buildings and roads are all part
Literal 8-year-old voice acting that, by the way.
Cool.
Leave it to me.
There we go. Okay, don't clap for that. That's ridiculously easy.
It's not your fault, it's Tails' fault.
That blasted fox. Alright. So an interesting thing about pinball levels is being on the pinball table is very different to being on the ground. Because once your teammate is on here, and they don't go where you want them to go, and you contemplate sending them into the abyss again,
Leave it to me.
you'll notice that when I'm switching around here, they're not appearing on my position, I'm snapping to theirs. So this is very important for going up here, because we can basically skip all the pinball by just shooting him up and,
Leave it to me.
thank you Sonic, snapping to his coordinates. And this will be abused significantly in the level following this one.
Here we go.
Leave it to me.
Which is Bingo Highway.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Good, okay.
Hey, going up there. Leave it to me.
There they
So it's a
are.
very short bop boost we can do here, and of course I'm going to go for it because this level's just gone so well. That's not far enough from the...
Let's go.
I thought it wasn't far enough. I just have to take a death here. I think we're past the kill planes, so this entire city is like a giant casino.
The buildings and roads are all part of a pinball table. Pretty cool.
And it's pretty cool.
Leave it to me.
Got it.
Leave it to me.
That looks good. I didn't see a dice. That's all I know about this skip, alright? Let me have it.
Let's go.
At this rate, it's like I'm learning.
Here we go.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
All right, while we're waiting, we do have a $23 donation from Chill Pollens. He said, donating to wish our esteemed runner good luck and to check if Worcester has managed to obtain some pants for since yesterday. Speaking of pants, put this money towards putting 5-5 into cricket gear for their run of Cricket 19.
Leave them to me, Sonic.
I am happy to announce I do have pants on today.
No, he doesn't.
Those qualify as pants. Alright, so finally we're out of... Well, actually, maybe not.
Here we go.
Leave it to me.
Got it.
Leave
Sonic was up there.
I know. No, I'm just admiring this city. It's the whole thing's a giant casino.
Take this. Take this.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh. The buildings and roads are all part of what appears to be pinball tables.
Take this. Take this.
I'm just gonna smack Sonic's head into the barrier there.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Got it. Take this. Take this.
Oh,
Right,
Tails.
shit.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Got it. Take this. Take this.
Leave it to me.
There we go. Something else I'm doing is, obviously, because this skybox is so vibrant, there's all sorts of visual cues I can use to kind of line up and make these jumps work. And in this case, the pink 7 is very handy in both instances.
Let's go!
Here we go.
Thanks to me.
Something I can do here is make Sonic take damage, and while he's blinking, go through these lasers, and just completely bypass them. So where I am right now is actually Team Chaotix's area of the level. It's not accessible with any others, and you have to use a unique ability of theirs to get through, but we can abuse the damage mechanics of the game to just ignore that.
All right.
Yeah, so a common thing in a lot of these levels is, because you can do them all with 4 different teams, is they're not supposed to have elements because you're not supposed to be able to access them, but if you can get there, they all function, and it's all just completely fine.
Alright, so after our leisurely stroll through Casino Park, let's speed down Bingo Highway. So this is home to Bingo Highway Skip, and just a little door clip at the beginning, which I am wonderfully inconsistent at, so we'll give it a go. And yeah, we'll explain the skip probably right after that.
Yep.
So this is probably one of the big showcase tricks of Unrestricted. This is not done in LTS at all, and it is a very, very convoluted setup to move Tails to a particular position in the level's coordinates.
But yeah, it's essentially just another pinball skip that you saw before, but far more convoluted in how it needs to be set up to work. So first, he's going to, once again, put them all to their ultimate denies as Knuckles, so they'll just fall off the stage, and then he's going to turn around, so Tails would respawn on his right hip pocket, but he has no place to respawn, so he's going to get sent to storage coordinates.
Yep.
And so now when he's on this little spring here, he's moving forward when he's hitting the spring, which isn't actually moving him forward, but it is moving Tails forward. So he's moving in a different position throughout the level. Then when he hits the ground, he's going to punch again to try and call Tails back, but while he's on the railing, so Tails won't actually come back, but he'll try and snap back to his position. And then he'll jump, which you'll see Sonic do the little circle thing around. Tails will be doing the same thing, but much further away. And then if he does another punch towards the pinball table again, entering pinball state, hopefully Tails will be in the right position so that when he snaps back to him,
Leave it to me.
he'll be sufficiently high enough throughout the stage that he can just very gently float towards the end of the level. The hard part is still coming up though, because the really difficult part is, as the stage is named Bingo Highway, you can play bingo in this stage, and there are a number of little different, I guess, like tokens that you can get in order to get bingo. And the very last one is floating down towards the goal. There is all of the numbers 1 to 9 in very different positions. And so Dan is going to go for a bingo, which I highly doubt he's going to get. I've never seen him do it once in his entire life.
Oh yes, very hard. Oh, you know what? Let's just use this little airing. Why not? I'm sure this will be efficient.
All right.
Oh no.
Bingo.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Okay, hang on. 1.
4. There is no way he will get 7.
I don't know. Oh! Perfect bingo! Yeah, so don't hit the air ring if you're trying to go fast, but you saw Casino Park. This is no longer a speedrun.
It's a very informative playthrough.
Alright,
So another boss, and so
Yes.
this is the third type of format, which is basically just an enemy spawn over and over and over again. Robot Carnival, there's another one, Robot Storm later on. This is a good time to explain power cores. So every 5 enemies that you kill, you get a power core, which will be a level up to one of your characters. And it's random which character it gives it to, but it can't be the one that you're in formation of when you kill. So killing these first enemies with Sonic, it can't give a Sonic core, but it can give Tails or Knuckles.
Yeah, so the rule of thumb early on here is that, and in both stages Sonic is useless, we don't really need to level him up, but the first 2 sets of 5 enemies we defeat, we want to get a power core for Tails, so that is 1 power core for Tails. If we get one for Knuckles, that's not too bad, but we're going to hope for a second Tails core. Come on game, take pity on me. Nah, no pity, alright. So that's not too bad, you just adjust your play accordingly, so usually I'd be able to kill all these enemies in one go, but instead I am going to just knock them on the ground.
there's the tails.
There's the Tails upgrade. Cool.
Yeah, so level 2 Tails is really important because then the Thunder Shoots can actually kill enemies. Before level 2, it's basically just for knocking them down and does nothing else. And there's level 3 Knuckles.
Level 3
Very
Knuckles,
nice.
perfect. Next one's the Shockos.
So Knuckles' power-ups is he starts doing a combo when you do his punches, and at level 3 it extends very, very far once he hits the ground.
Yep. So those enemies have stone shields there, which even with level 3 Knuckles take a significant amount of time to destroy. So I cast a tornado early, and they all aggro to my position when they spawn in. So they just walk in and lose their shields.
And that's the level 3 Knuckles, so it hits absolutely everything on the stage. Well, towards a certain radius. So for these waves, it does get them all.
Yep. So this one has a golden tortoise that spawns. I'm going to try to time that so that when he spawns... No, that's too early. That's alright. So we'll just flip him over. And that's the general idea why we don't like golden tortoises. They're very, very slow to kill.
Leave it to me.
Somehow toss some rings as Tails. Cool.
So just quickly, we've got an $11 donation from Clock District that says, "Wow, this place is like a giant casino. It's pretty cool. If you press the L and R buttons, you can control the flippers."
I don't think I've ever used L and R to control the flip
No,
in this
neither.
game. I just use the A button.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Alright, so thankfully the power core RNG was on our side there. Alright, so coming up is Rail Canyon, and this is a good example of using rail switching to build a lot of speed, and then once again, one of my favorite things, just switching to power from speed, preserving our momentum, and abusing that. And it's going to happen right out the gate here. After some rail switches, and if you rail switch on boosters, you can actually initiate the booster's speed effect twice and get significantly more speed from the booster than you would normally get. If you switch at the wrong time, you skip the booster entirely. So this one, there we go. So if you just skip this entire beginning section with a short triangle dive, we'll keep going. So this level has 2 bot boosts in it, but one of them is what I sort of just call a double bot boost, where we're going to initiate a bot boost, end up behind another normal, and then initiate again. So this bot boost isn't anything too crazy. I'm just going to use the visual cue of the rails.
So the thunder shooting there as well is because when you're firing thunder shoots, you're not actually losing flight meter. So that little meter that comes beneath Tails is when that expires, you'll just stop actually flying and start descending. And so you can just extend that a little bit further just by firing off thunder shoots.
So for this bot boost, I need Tails to take damage to go through a wall of lasers. So we're going to knock down this flapper. I'm just going to focus for a moment. Okay, we got bot stayed.
Let's go.
Try that again.
Along the trail of rings using light dash by
Oh,
pressing the B button when
that's fine. That's why I took the
with
checkpoint.
Sonic as the leader.
See, Knuckles can join them this time. Alright, so we'll grab a ring so we can take damage.
Leave it to me. Stay, stay. Let's go. Let's go.
Not bot stayed. Closely.
Stay, stay. Let's go.
Okay, and
Let's go.
Seems like we have to
got one of them.
activate all 3
So
switches.
thankfully the enemy is actually deloaded, which is
Let's go.
very useful for me because it will regenerate his health. Have another
B
go.
button to perform the light
Yeah,
dash.
because if he had knocked him down another time, he would have died
When
again.
we get close to them with B as your leader.
Let's go.
Seems like we have to activate all 3 switches.
And they're dead.
Yeah, so this one saves an extremely significant amount of time though,
Yeah.
so it definitely is worth going for.
Knuckles got hit by the laser there, that's unlucky.
Did the enemy reload because it was off screen or because you were far enough?
It's a certain amount of like distance, so the area basically is just unloaded.
Let's go.
Ooh.
There we go. That is the double bot boost. Which if you get it first try is quite fast. So all I have to do here is I just use this little rock thing as a bit of a visual cue along with the skybox, and we can fall straight down to the end of the level.
That's Rail Canyon.
That's Rail Canyon.
Did
I'm
everyone-
glad that you do get to skip this stage because it's probably my least favorite.
Yeah, I didn't care for the rail levels when I was younger.
I think rail mechanics are just more interesting when they're sparse.
Yeah.
When there's just too much.
When it's all rails.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's like you're on rails, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
If only there was like some kind of analogy.
That was tight.
All right, so I think I'm on 3 lives. No. Maybe that time. The other 3 times you died, less so, Sonic. So this level's Bullet Station, and it is highly variable. I can either get a 3-frame window trick that will skip the entire level, or it will take 4 minutes. So of course, we're going to go for the really cool 3-frame trick once, and see if we can grab a really good amount of time save. So the beginning of this trick involves manipulating these enemies, so we want to wake up this guy down here, but not his friend. Get in position. We're going to jump, so we aggro this guy at the right coordinates, so he runs toward where he thinks we are, and pushes his friend. So now we're going to bop off of him and knock Sonic down.
Let's go! Let's go!
We can try that again at least. I'll give it one go. Get him to face me.
Let's go! Let's go!
If I don't die, I'll give it another shot. Oh no, he's too far away. That's unlucky.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to show that off. That's a shame. You fly across the entire level, and if you land in the 3-frame window, you are just at the final cannon and can just dodge all of the LTS movement that I'll be doing now. So LTS stands for Limited Text Selection, which is the other category. So this is what you would do if you weren't doing the Bullet Station Bolt Boost.
We're about to grab. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Oop.
Ooh.
Thank you, Knuckles.
Leave it to me!
Just seeing even more of the stage.
Yep. This is the grand tour of Sonic Heroes.
Here we go. Got it. Got
Leave
it.
it to me!
Okay.
Let's go!
Unfortunate. This is now a casual playthrough, so if you kill this guy, his cage opens. And that just unites the 2 rails here, so you can sort of alternate where they're facing.
Got it. Got it.
So we'll keep going through the level here. So something we want to do is build speed on this rail, and it ends right on this bit of platform, so we kick off and tornado straight onto this pole. Which again is one of those little pieces of movement that I just love. I think it looks really cool.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Here we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are just suggestions in this game. Like it says to go to power there, and it's actually more efficient to just use Sonic and
Yeah.
use the Rocket Excel to go through it.
Yeah, so something that's very common.
Oh,
but
you
on Sonic.
didn't switch to Knuckles.
Yep.
You are Sonic.
Not. That's fine. So it's far more efficient to be Knuckles here. So this is that cannon that sets us up with a favorable angle. So we just fire them all out where it's facing, and we can break this door.
Hey, let's try firing that thing. Hey, come on now. Don't do it, Sonic. Yes. Yes. Level up.
Yes.
Yes.
Level up!
Yes. Level up.
So these are just sort of auto-scroller sections, which are just good for getting some rings. But when we fly out of this one, we want to be sort of more towards the left. The leftmost rail is best for us,
Yes.
so we want to jump off it shortly after.
Yes. That's what I call
Just
a
take a little
flight.
safe on there. There we go.
I think my heart's
So as you can see, there's all these bothersome rails, so we're just going to switch to Tails and do a common sense skip. There we go. And just float on down gently.
got it. Let's go up there.
So unfortunately, there isn't really too much else in Bullet Station when you do LTS until the very end. So are there any updates with donations? Or
There are no more updates with donations.
do we let people know who we are?
We are AusSpeedruns, and we are raising money for Game On Cancer. Please go to donate.ausspeedruns.com to get your donations in. I would very much like more to read off.
Don't forget, if you want to put it towards an incentive, to pop it in the comments as well. We have plenty of them.
Thank you very much, Lacey.
Oh,
Oh, no.
oh no! I got locked by the spring. I can't move here. Oh, I can.
You can move.
But I will die when I touch this ground. I don't think I'm allowed to be on it, or it might not even be solid for this.
Yeah, it won't be.
Yeah, it's not.
Ooh.
So that is a trolley section. I tried to jump over those springs, but ended up locked. So I fell through the spring, but had the upward momentum still, which had the same effect of locking my position like in Big Red Highway, so that was just very unfortunate.
Whoa. Let's jump to the car ahead if we destroy them.
Okay!
Oh, ride. Yeah. Take this. Yeah. Yeah.
Watch out!
We found him. Now, Knuckles, destroy that engine
So
core.
rather than worry about that, I think I'm just gonna let him jump in normally.
Each time the bobsled takes on damage, one character is thrown off the bobsled. The speed decreases if I'm thrown off, and if Tails falls off...
Luckily, when you're actually going downhill, it doesn't really
Doesn't matter
decrease
too
your
much.
speed. Yeah.
I was just very wrapped up in Sonic's terrific lecture on bobsled mechanics.
We're about to crash.
Alright, so
Level up.
this is where we would have ended up if you got the bullet station bob boost early in the level. It's pretty handy. But there is still one cool skip I can show off here, so I'm just gonna... I can door clip here, but this is way funnier. So if you just hold left and A, you switch rails.
Yeah,
go
you switch
backwards.
rails, but if
pretty
you do
good.
it at a better time...
Do it there,
Yeah.
you just fly upwards. So I'm not entirely sure on exactly how that one works. I think it might just be to do with the fact that the rail is curving and there might be a gravity change involved. Where am I?
You have
there.
been.
I
There
got
we go.
180.
Yeah.
And then this fires us towards the end of the level. So as you can see, it's probably closer to usually 4 minutes, but this is about a 5-minute time.
Straight ahead of us.
With bullet station bob boost, I think my time on my practice file is like 1 minute and 16 seconds. So it's very much worth going for in runs.
Yes!
Alright, cool. So this is coming up as the second Eggman boss fight. So again, he works a lot like Egghawk. We're just going to be running away from him to make him run or fly closer to us, and then we'll close
no
in and damage
problem.
him. Now, unlike Egghawk, he doesn't come into land at any point during the fight. So we'll have to hit him on the move.
There's also 3 different phases to this fight, and so the last one looks exactly the same as Egghawk.
Yeah.
But the other 2 are a bit trickier. So at the start, he's going to try and wedge himself on the left side, on the left edge,
That thing's loaded with
and
Eggman's
switch to
weapons.
Knuckles and just be continuously punching him, but not actually comboing, to be able to continuously use that punch over and over and over again. Again.
There's only one way to go.
So like,
There we go. Yep. And, but then started the combo. Still got the one
Still
cycle
got it.
though,
That was a
so
good wedge,
perfect.
yeah.
But then similar idea here, going back, but you can't get enough punches to kill him here, so going to use the fire dunk instead, and then probably go forward and
yeah,
just punch. Yeah.
there we go, and last phase. And if we hit him right in the
Is that it?
right in his cockpit, we should just go down instantly. No.
2 health. Dead!
Oh!
Oh!
Wombo combo. Okay. Egg pawn coming
There's
in
only one way
clutch.
to go. Ready?
Sorry, we just get to see it again.
Yeah.
People have missed it.
Yeah, so if you weren't listening, I'm going to very mercifully show you again.
All right. One down. I'll destroy them all.
It was a good example of the iframes not actually carrying over when you switch teammates, though.
Yes.
Just for the exact opposite effect of what we're trying to do in most cases.
Yes.
There we go.
No.
Eggman, you'll never beat us.
Except for
He's-
that time where he did. That's not even the best victory line in this game. That's the next boss. Alright, so we're on the next zone here, which is Frog Forest. And this introduces a pretty interesting mechanic, which is these frogs that can grow plants by summoning rain. And the level after this, Lost Jungle, will have frogs that can kill plants by summoning rain. And that will sort of just influence how the level is structured. So once again, we're taking advantage of that momentum. I'm going to switch to Knuckles and not triangle dive and fall down. But you can see how there is the top of that platform there where a triangle dive will go right across.
Just wanted to show off the frogs changing the
Yeah.
stage.
After all
rather
that,
than the plants,
all that
yeah.
prelude I gave, how could I not? So we do a bot boost here. This is going to skip basically the entire level and put us on a path that just leads to the end. So I'm just going to set up this visual cue that I think is very good and more people should use.
There was
Really
a big
dumb
mushroom that you could use there, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right, so I'm going to go for some speed shoes here. No, never mind. Oh, my teammate got them. Nicely done, Knuckles. I'm going to build a lot of speed on these slopes by kicking while we're going. And, oh, not quite. But we're on top of the platform. So if I got a triangle dive off there with that speed, I would have been able to just fly straight to the end of the level. But unfortunately, we'll just have to go on the railing.
Tail switching. Interesting.
Yeah, new tech. Yeah, if you switch to tails instead of Knuckles, you actually lose speed. Yeah.
Perfect.
No. Alright, so here we are on Lost Jungle.
So yeah, as Dan said, there's now black frogs that will summon rain that kill plants and kill
start
vines
off
instead.
With a beautiful common sense skip, there's even a sign telling you to fly there. An enemy spawns that they want you to kill.
Leave it to me.
But I'm just not going to do that.
Instead
Oh,
of doing
lovely.
common sense skip A, we'll do common sense skip B.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, lovely.
There's a roof there.
I know. I'm just checking its integrity.
Yeah, cool.
It's a bit of a disastrous looking overhang,
Doing a bit of glitch.
but it's sitting pretty firm.
We're doing a bit of glitch hunting
Yeah.
during the run. It's crazy how in all these Sonic games you can just fly around this stuff. You don't need to do it.
Yep.
I
Here's another
believe
good
that was
example.
introduced in Sonic 2 with Tails.
We're not going there, are we? Yes, we are.
There's a pretty interesting bob boost that I'm going to have a quick go at here. That involves stunning one of the large hammer enemies, which I think this might be the first appearance. If you're watching.
There were a few before that we just ignored.
Went by,
Yeah.
So I'm going to stun him and try to get Sonic in bomb state off of his hand. Okay, I didn't get it. I'm just going to keep going. You have to wait a significant amount of time with that guy. And he can also start entering a spin animation that just wastes even more time, so we'll just move on.
Got it. There's that black frog again.
Ooh.
Okay, those bounce, just making sure.
Ready?
Don't even want the flower, by the way.
Yeah, that's
just-
what I wanted.
Leave it to me.
It's all RNG manipulation.
Yeah, I'm manipulating RNG to lose time.
Leave it to me.
Okay, that's okay. Sure, you can get that jump. Alright. So coming up will be a second laser clip, so like the one in Casino Park. So we'll be setting up Sonic to take damage and then charging towards the
Oh.
laser. I did that homing attack a bit early.
Just wanted to see if we could get enough height off his jump here this time.
No.
No.
Here we go. Got it.
Thankfully, we just use the fact that there's one up there. And it's like, nothing happens. Just don't look at the clock. So,
But yeah, the laser skip, just like the one before. Oh my.
I'm just not doing that again. No, thank you. It's very easy, by the way. This isn't like, oh, this poor runner with this hard game. No, it's this absolute fraud on stage.
To be fair, this is a very difficult game, but I won't dispute the fraud.
I appreciate that. We keep them honest here. We're all about honest gameplay.
But yeah, the laser skip, just like the one before, it's about having Sonic take damage by, in this case, it's going to be thunder shooting him into an enemy, and then switching to Sonic, and Sonic will still have his invincibility frames. If you did the opposite, you wouldn't. And then, with invincibility frames, hopefully go through the laser
So I do.
by gathering speed and then jumping at the right time.
Leave it to me.
Here we go.
We can try that again at least. They don't spin, don't spin, don't spin. Thank you. Okay. He wasn't hurt. Okay, we're gonna take the path on the right. Very unfortunate.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Really steep here. Be careful.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
As well, no, because we won't.
Leave it to me.
Sonic! It's in a cage, mate. Okay.
Leave it to me.
Got it.
Leave it to me.
Got it.
Leave it to me.
Got it.
Yeah, one of the things about this game is if you're very, very precise, you can kind of control what your teammates are doing, but once they go off the rails just even, just a millimeter,
Yeah.
they will just fly exactly where they are not needed.
Yep.
Let's go.
Disaster wheel strike.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Pretty cool little slope jump there.
Yeah, so that's just jumping up against the wall there in order to get more height while in flight formation.
Got it. Here we go.
There's that top frog again.
They're trying to take us down to the swamp. Hurry.
And a crocodile, apparently. Or is that an alligator?
Yeah, this is a very intense section. So while Dan concentrates, I'll read out a few donations. We got one from Knuckles, donating $2. Says, "Hi, AusSpeedruns. I come in with a message for you all. Got it, 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 got it."
Well done.
I think you might have missed one, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, go
There
again.
you
Go
go.
again.
That was tight.
So once again, teammates just being factually incorrect on the results screen with their voice lines. So this is the second team fight and final one. This one actually requires some effort to manipulate them, unlike Team Rose. So I'm going to focus here, but I'm going to switch to power, punch, curl to the left, switch to tails, and jump into Omega.
I'm over here.
There we go, they're dead.
Greet those you haven't seen in a while.
So it's really important when you knock Omega off the platform that he actually hits the upgrade balloon, because that's what actually prompts Rouge and Shadow to just return to him and just...
Well, it's because they notice him about to die and wanted to jump after him to try and save him.
They're just fed up.
Oh, we also had $10 from 0GN that says, "The number of rings paid out from the slot machine on the pinball table varies depending on the matching symbols. Up to 200 rings is paid out with one ball. And remember, that's tripled when there are 3 balls in the machine. If the Eggman symbols come up and match, then you lose rings." So, ran out of characters, but you get the idea.
I'll internalize this and try to go fast next time. This is
Internalize
Hank
what?
Castle. Hank Castle is a pretty interesting level casually where you can't,
Where the egg
you
pawns
can't
are
kill-
invincible.
You cannot kill them. So the gravity will switch and you're sort of in a new area. And what you can do is, because of how the levels are laid out, these orbs are usually... I want it to be Sonic there, that's all right.
We're turning.
We can sort of just jump down past a lot of stuff in these levels because they're very, very vertical. There's also a door clip here, which I'm going to have a go at, so I'll try the long setup first.
Leave it to me.
So we gather our teammates with flight. No, okay, so we'll try it here.
Ready?
Leave it to me.
Here we go.
We're just trying to bash into the door.
Here we go.
Yeah, so if I switch to flight, there we go. Bit slow, but we got it.
Got it. Got it.
So unfortunately those egg pawns spawned, I would have gone right into them, but we could actually ramp off of that slope and go straight up here, but we'll just go down with a kick and a jump.
Yeah, so this is where common sense really applies. So
Common sense skip.
when you switch to flight and you're descending much, much slower, you can just jump and skip so much of this stage. And when you hit these, it's important to still be in tails or flight mode as well.
Because then there's another common sense skip where we
Yep.
just fly right away and die. Terrific. It's a triple chain of common sense. It's very difficult.
Leave it to me.
Try it again.
But yeah, the idea is what they want to happen, or what they suggest anyway, is you just fall straight upwards onto a booster.
Yes.
That's more than enough height.
It wasn't last time, so we're just going to take it easy. So here's our other common sense skips. We're just going to fall straight on down here. Do a nice little clean bop boost to the end. Oh. Sorry for him.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
There
go.
we go.
Let's go.
Tails really wants to go.
Yay.
Alright, there we go.
Got it. Jump.
So a lot of the actions are used by the same command. So you can see him kicking here with B, but that would also activate the light dash, or if he's very slightly off the ground, the tornado as well.
Yeah. Which is why I sort of took it easy going for that last incline, because I did not feel good about that.
Yes.
There we go.
How many seconds would an unwanted tornado do here? How much would you lose?
Oh, you would lose all your momentum as well.
Yeah.
Like doing the tornado would only be like a second and a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But the fact that you would lose all of your speed and just be at a standstill,
And because
not
the
good.
gravity is very awkward on that tower that you're running down, it actually takes you like a little bit longer to touch the ground as well. So it's just, yeah, very, very awkward. All right, so this is Mystic Mansion. Something that's important here is actually maintaining Knuckles' levels on purpose to be low at the beginning and then much higher later.
Clean with all these ghosts.
Opening the doors. I wonder what that switch is doing over there.
Got it. There they are.
So we're going to keep Knuckles as formation leader when we're killing these robots at the start. And we're going to have a checkpoint here. We're just going to make the level to basically anyone we want. I'm going to get Sonic because he's who I can be. Let's get back in. So the
Very
reason we
difficult
want...
lasers.
yeah, you got to jump. So the reason I want Knuckles at level 0 is I can just repeatedly punch like this. Very nice. And kill that hammer robot. A little bit slower with these guys.
And then the very visible wall that you can see right in front of you is not actually a wall.
It's an optical illusion, part of
Yes.
this very spooky mansion. All right.
Jump. Jump now. Level up.
So I'm using these trolleys to actually level up Knuckles by having him be the formation leader as I enter them. So really we only need one level for Knuckles to do the most important trick in this level, but he's also just very handy for combat. So there we go, Knuckles is now max level. So we're going to have a lot of those shield guys. So as you can see, his damage stat is just a lot higher, and he also has a combo finisher now.
Leave it to me. Let's go. Let's go.
Here we go. Yeah.
Hey, you surprised me.
Got it.
So even stuff like that in this game is actually quite tricky to actually preserve momentum. Knuckles has been captured.
Oh my goodness, okay, let's compose ourselves. This is the hardest move in the game. You hold A to glide upwards. There we go, I got it. Alright.
Got
Leave
it.
it to me. Yay, whee! Let's go.
Second hardest trick in the game, grabbing a lever. There we go. No, stop.
He talks it up way too much.
Oh,
Alright, so that's why level 3 Knuckles is so handy. It's pretty much specifically for that room. And this is why having any Knuckles level is very important here. So we're going to fire Sonic and Knuckles away and get Tails to throw out his dummy rings. Which, that's not what I wanted, but cool, I opened the door.
Leave it to me.
So when
Yeah,
those rings
so-
touch us and Knuckles is punching, there we
Leave
go.
it to me.
If we make contact with those rings as they touch that sphere, it acts as like an extension of ourselves because they're a friendly projectile.
Here we go.
Sonic here.
Level up.
So that allows us to just clip into the cage and completely bypass combat and do an entire seconds per level, so very, very handy.
we've also got a $10 donation from Tails that says, "Let's go, let's 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 go."
You missed one.
No, I definitely didn't.
You didn't, I counted them.
I counted them. We also have a $5 donation from Tails that says, "Look at all those Eggman's robots. Let's go, let's go."
Oh dear. Oh no, that was way too early. That was also way too early. Thankfully, there's only 2 lasers in that section, so...
Hey, we may be able to do triangle jumps since it's so narrow here.
Got it. Got it.
Go.
Got it.
Go.
Got
Leave
it.
it to me. Let's go. Let's go. Whee!
Here we go. Here.
Try going down there.
Go.
So yeah, what you were supposed to do is actually like activate those switches to get more rings, but they actually leave the end part of the light dash trail there automatically, just for no real reason. So if you just get enough speed and make it there, you can just get the back edge of the trail. And so on this section, you're supposed to fight 3 different enemy waves by triggering 3 different things. But again, if you just get the switch, it'll just activate and there's the goal ring. So I've actually had Tails in my ear saying I did not read his full comment. His full comment was, look at all those Eggman's robots. Let's go. Let's go. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. Let's go. Whee!
Okay, you got a Wii in there. Good. That's the best one. Alright, so this is our second robot wave boss fight. So again, we're just going to be using strategies to deal with each wave as efficiently as possible and hoping for good drops. So the drops we want in this fight are Knuckles at the beginning. So ideally, I'll get 2 Knuckles upgrades, but if not, I can make 2. It's not quite as urgent as a robot carnival. Okay, we got 1 Knuckles level. And how we go? So we're going to Tails level. So that's alright. So there's an opportunity for another Knuckles level after this wave. And this is why level 2 Knuckles early is so useful, because we have enough of an AoE attack that just deals with all those enemies.
Too cool.
Use Sonic to defeat the gold robot. When you defeat the gold robot, that just kills all of the other robots that are active on the field. So,
Team Lost Glitch. Okay, so
Lost Glitch.
Yeah, never explained Team Lost Glitch. One of the easiest tricks.
Figure it out yourselves.
Yeah, if you switch to Tails and press B at the same time, it'll just activate effectively the Thunder Shoot over and over. And you can do that to fill up about 30% of your Team Blast gauge. Because 1 Thunder Shoot is 1%, I think.
Yes. So I'm just using a different class here to try to get a Knuckles score, but unfortunately no luck. But that's just too good. Tornado this one off, and you know what? Let's just see if we can get one.
Looks like there's a bunch of them. Come and get some.
So this is why it's really important to level up Knuckles in this level early, because he's active for so much of the fight. And when he's active, I can't get power cores for him. So it's a bit of a nuisance. So I want to see if I can just get anything, and the answer is no.
Yeah.
Oh,
That could have been really bad.
oh there it is.
Oh, dear me. So that's an RNG manipulation. I had bad RNG, and I'm going to pray I get good RNG this time.
Payback time, Eggman. You guys ready? Ready.
So now we've got
And now we've
worse.
got worse RNG. So I'm just going to make Tails active and take out this wave.
Oh, damn.
There we go. So we've got 1 Knuckles score. Delightful.
Here we go.
Oh, he's run off. Well, we might as well max out Tails.
Beat the robots and the keys will open.
So we've also got a $10 donation from Paul Moll that says, it's not a real trip to the casino if your mate doesn't drop you off at a roulette table. Drop you off a roulette table. My mistake. Far more gruesome comment.
Alright, so now we have
But accurate.
Knuckles.
I'm sorry, what is the first thing he's saying here?
He's saying shit. Like, not the 4-letter one.
Here we go.
Not bad. Too cool.
They really aren't aware of the situation, are they?
No, they don't care. They are not heroes of intellect.
Here we go.
Oh, Tails is already maxed.
Too cool.
Here we go.
So again, that's why level 2 Knuckles at the minimum is very important throughout the fight, because that's the bulk of the boss fight done, and you usually pick up enough cores to get Tails to level 2 at the very minimum here, but he's on level 3.
Power and flight there for a moment.
Yep. So there we go, now we have max levels on all the relevant characters.
Leave it to me. Dave.
Sorry, Sonic, you're not relevant.
So that's an example. This wave is really good. He's not. This is a good example of using level 3 with both characters. That's why I used an AoE with Knuckles and level 3 with Tails to take out the enemies around the ring. Sonic gets his moment in the spotlight at the very end though. We're going to use Team Blast against the cannon here, which puts us straight in here, fires us to the end, and while Team Blast is active, it actually changes the properties of Thundershoot and also Tornado. So I'm going to cast a Tornado, and he's just going to kill everyone for me. So he has earned his relevancy back, unless he circles around too much. You can have a little bit of relevancy.
Don't get too excited, boys. Those were the easy ones.
But I make them look hard.
The voice actors had way too much fun with this.
Yes, that was actually Dean Bristow's last role as Eggman. He did a terrific job in the early 3D games. Really fun performance for sure.
What? That's it?
Oh, I didn't point out that when I killed Team Dark in 7 seconds, Tails says with like an absolute 4-letter expletive that sounds like what Knuckles says, eating grin. If only we had more time. So this is the final zone of the game. It's not final level, but this is the last sort of 3-level set. And this has probably one of the most interesting bot boosts in the game.
Let's get this party started.
So we'll show that one off.
Also one of the more difficult ones.
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
run,
I would say this is up there. Maybe not the most, so that honor definitely goes to Bullet Station. But yeah, it's very, very precise.
Get away from the marker. The cannons are aiming this way.
Oh, they're both having a rest. There we go, they're back.
So again, you would kill all those enemies to open that door, but that's really optional.
Yep. Oh, so you can get on top of that there, but that's not a big deal. We can just go up this pole. So that's basically what that saves us the trouble of doing. So I'm just going to switch to flight here, which fires me straight up and gives me the shortest path through this section of the level. So being ready for that cannon is very important. If I switch to flight while I still have speed, I can jump up and just completely skip the string there.
They really went overboard. Got it.
Same thing here, but with Knuckles' triangle glide.
Got it.
It's slow, but we'll still make it.
Here we go.
There we go. Alright, so I guess what I'll explain is you'll see these cannons firing at me. What I'll be doing later on is using the bullets they're firing, or the large shells, I guess, to initiate a mob boost. So it's going to be very different to how I normally do it. So rather than flying down onto the projectile or onto the cannon, like you might imagine I do with Megacorn, I'm going to be getting hit by the projectile and then switching in such a rhythm that the frame I switch to flight, Sonic is knocked out of formation.
Ready to land on the battle.
See how we do. There's also a brilliant common sense coming up shortly. It's a lot like the one in Power Plant from earlier in the run. Big fan.
Watch out, those cannons. Leave it to me.
Also, I love how Tails asks him to punch the cannons, to which... Oh, so usually Knuckles tells him to basically get stuffed and do it himself. But he didn't there. For once, they're cooperating. Yeah, that's unlucky. So you can get a little Axel jump there and skip doing this bit of movement.
Here we go.
Got it.
Here we go.
So we want to stun this enemy and then cast Tornado, and that just skips all that platforming down there. Then we can jump off this cannon and fly, and that skips fighting that enemy. So those like robot bird-looking enemies have a lot of health and a shield that they can raise to just stop you from hurting them. So they're very, very slow. So skipping them outright is ideal in all situations.
Here we go. One down.
All right.
Way to go, guys.
Here we go.
Got it. Got
Leave it to me.
So again, nice little common sense skip.
Dave. Whee!
Got it.
Lovely. So we're coming up on Cannon Bob Boost here. I'm just going to take a moment to concentrate and get it. So This may take a couple of tries, but it's very much worth it.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
So that was a little bit late.
Let's go. Leave it to me. Let's go.
Not too early. Can we hit the Goldilocks zone?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
There we go. So now I'm going to pause buffer because this is a very variable bot boost. Okay, that looks good. So if I fly too far here, I will actually go past all kill planes, and it's an entire level restart. So it's very important that I pause buffer there, because you do not want to be in the bot boost state for long. So that should be okay. Excellent. We are right at the end of the level. That is the perfect distance. I'd like to congratulate the crowd for clapping at an appropriate moment this time.
Yes!
Look, we're here to support you through the good and the bad.
You support me when I deserve it, when I've earned it.
That was tight!
For once, he's right. All right. So we're going to do Final Fortress, which involves us doing that exact same thing again, but this one's a little more friendly. Just a more lenient bot boost, and I thankfully don't have to pause buffer for it either. So, and then it's on to the final
This
boss.
must be Eggman's headquarters!
The airbase.
So just quickly, we had another donation from Knuckles for $5.25, saying, tossing whatever money I can quills into the swear jar. I can find quills into the swear jar. Thank you, Lacey. Put this to host choice. Shift rock, yeah. Shift rock, yeah. Shift rock, yeah.
I appreciate the censorship.
The airbase.
How does this thing stay afloat? Doesn't matter. Let's take it down.
So I wasn't paying attention. Did you die?
No.
Okay.
I restarted.
There is a difference.
Get away from the marker.
Oh,
Ooh.
that was
We're aiming this way.
just showing off the cannons here. Magnificent design.
So that's what happens if you don't kick after the rocket
Yes.
excel.
Headquarters.
The airbase.
How does this thing stay afloat? Doesn't matter. Let's take it down. Got it. Whoa! Yeah. Got it.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Those cannons are about to fire. Get away from those target markers. Yeah.
There we go.
Got it. Here we
Oh,
go.
hang on. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Got it.
So there's lots of little tech in this run, like that he just completely messed up. Just killing blocks by, instead of punching them, just by using the characters to circle around you so they break the block and you can continue moving. Just continue your momentum. Momentum's just such a huge thing in this game, all throughout.
Absolutely. Another thing I do there to bring them closer to me is initiating a glide, but you have to be very careful you don't glide for too long because you have massive amounts of speed decay as you glide. So as you saw there, I just glided for a moment. And this is the second cannon bot boost and final bot boost in the game.
Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Nice. Okay. So that skips us. This level is basically a straight corridor that goes down. If you played Sonic Advance 2, it'll seem very familiar. A little bit of an in-joke. And,
No!
I'm not explaining why you had that reaction. That's a deep in-joke. So, because this level is a straight corridor, we could just boost down. I lied, by the way. That's actually the final bot boost, but that's not a very cool one. Cannon bot boost cooler. So we can just fall down onto these rails and just ride them to the end of the level. Oh no! See,
That's what you get!
I should have paused.
This must be Eggman's
I should have
headquarters.
paused. So yeah, a bit of a... It's not nice that that happened. This level, the route I take has absolutely no checkpoints, so...
Get away from the marker.
So we get to see it all again.
This way.
Yep. Oh dear.
Little safety tornado.
All right, so I want to see this go correctly this time.
Got it.
No.
Oh, right, sorry. Look, I've got my... I'm thinking about those rails.
Stay. Stay.
Got it.
So he was showing again how you could do it poorly,
Yeah,
just in a very different way.
reverting to old habits.
Got it. Got it.
This is also one of my favorite common sense skips.
Yeah.
It's just
Fly
switch
off.
to tails.
Yeah,
Fly.
you don't even need the amount of speed I build. You can just jump off and fly.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Fly. This is lots of fun, lots of cannons firing in the air. And I do like to have rings for the second ball boost.
Got it.
So I'm just going to take out the cannons here. It makes the setup a lot more lenient.
Got it. Take this.
Here we go.
Got it.
Take this. Here we go.
Got
Leave
it.
it to me. Let's go.
Here we go.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Go.
Let's go. Stay.
All right, we also had a $2 donation from Clock District that says, you might have missed the rail, but at least you weren't on the markers while the cannons were facing this way.
Got
Leave
it.
it to me.
We'll just take an easy fall onto these rails, given that they are
Got it.
such a challenge for me at this moment.
There's robots everywhere. Time to party.
They're taking nothing.
Oh
no ring.
no! Oh jeez.
This must be Eggman's
What happened?
headquarters.
I had no rings and I took damage on the bot boost.
Oh.
The airbase.
So in Sonic games, when you have no rings and you get hit, that actually leads to a death.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yes.
What if I fall off a ledge?
If you fall off a ledge, you will die.
Oh.
Got it.
Well, see, I got you there, because what if there's ground at the bottom?
Let's go.
Hmm.
Those cannons are about to fire. Get away from those target markers. Go.
Oh, that's a bit sketchy. Very sketchy.
Go. Go.
Got it.
Well, what we can do is...
There we go, yes. They don't applaud for me.
Leave it to me.
Phenomenal.
Let's go.
Applaud for Worcester, please.
Got it. Got it.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Here we go.
Got it. Got it.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Cannons, just get away from here for a moment. So I'll take them out. And that's part of why I died earlier, is I only had one ring when I got hit by that cannon for the bot boost, which meant I did not end up collecting them as I flew by to set up the rest of the bot. So it's always good to have a handful of rings here for that hit,
Leave it to me.
so that you know you're just going to fall into some, or just go straight through them as you race to set up the bot boosts. So.
Let's go.
Is there such a thing as having too many rings?
Pardon?
Is there such a thing as having too many rings?
Never.
Not in this game, at least. There is in other games.
Game Gear. Alright.
Stay. 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 Wing.
Alright.
We also have a $2.50 donation from Miles Tails Prower
Leave it to me.
that just says, the air base!
Got it.
That's it?
That's it.
Cool.
But
How
also
does this
says
thing
runner's
stay
choice,
afloat?
but I don't think you deserve it.
No.
Keep your guard up.
I'll destroy everything that comes my
Oh, incredible.
It's the blue laser.
What I love during that descent is Knuckles is kind of flailing around as if he's trying to miss.
This must be Eggman's headquarters.
I'm never leaving, am I?
Doesn't matter. Let's
Might have to refund that donation because you were on the markers while the cannons were facing this way.
I was.
This must be Eggman's headquarters.
The airbase!
How does this thing stay afloat? Doesn't matter.
We're currently in limbo.
Down.
We're not in limbo, we're in hell.
Let's go!
Those cannons are about to fire. Get away from those target markers. Go.
Got it.
Here we go. Go.
Got it.
Here we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
Here we go.
Got it.
Leave it to me. Let's go! Dave! Dave!
Here we go.
Got it.
Here we go. Take this. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got
Leave
it.
it to me. Let's go!
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Leave it to me. Let's go!
Ooh, first try.
That's not first.
Look,
Let's
it's
be
the
honest
first
with
on this
ourselves.
on this round.
Do you hear that, everyone? That's the sound of goalposts moving.
We accommodate.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm just gonna put that up
Leave it to me. Let's go!
here. Really hate that camera. So we'll just, that's a dash pad. If you go on those, they actually send you in a direction and ruin the camera. Okay. And
And
flip
your
you
direct-
around.
Yeah.
Cool, never doing that again.
Got it. Got it.
Here we go. There's robots everywhere. Time to party.
You're attacking Falcon! Keep your guard
Oh.
up!
I'll destroy everything that comes my way.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Dave! 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 Whee!
This camera looks a lot better for lining up though.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted. You know what? I'm a bit... Someone no lives, so I'm just going to do that. And I will fall much slower.
Look out! Blue laser. Here we go.
Got it. Got
Here
it.
we go.
I don't trust that. Where are we at?
Let's blast
Try it
with
again.
sonic speed.
Come on.
Choke Fortress.
All right.
14
so
times the charm.
we also had a $2 donation from Clock District, and it reads.
This must be Eggman's headquarters. Doesn't matter. Let's take it down.
Got it.
Got it.
Leave it to me. Let's go!
The cannons are aiming our way. Watch for those target markers.
Got it.
Here we go.
Got it.
Here we go.
Got it. Got it.
Leave it to me. Let's go! Whee! Dave! Dave!
Here we go.
Got it. Got it.
So you also had a donation from Kegmeister for $22.22. Says, if only Tails had warned you that not having any rings and then getting hit would lead to a death. Put this money towards the casual costume for Resident Evil 2. This puts it in the lead ahead of all the other much cooler skins. What a shame. So remember, if you do want to donate, just head to donate.ausspeedruns.com. And if you do want to put it towards any incentive, just leave it in the comment as you donate.
Let's go! Dave! 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 Dave!
everywhere. Time to party.
They're attacking mountain! Keep their guard up!
I'll destroy everything that comes my way.
Stay! Whee!
Got it.
Go!
Blue laser fire!
Got it.
Go!
Red laser fire!
Only 4 lasers? A hero's welcome.
1, 2, 3, 4!
This must be Eggman's headquarters.
The airman!
We're gonna show you Egg Emperor. Since it's amateur hour, we're just going to load a save.
For reference, it's just
That was
rails to the end.
It was just rails
Yeah.
to the end.
So here we are at Egg Emperor, the final
it.
boss of the game. So this boss is actually pretty cool. So as I mentioned before, we're actually going to use Tails to take it out. So instead of waiting for him to charge from you being behind, we're actually going to try and get ahead of
Try it
him
again. I got the life to spare.
and pick up both Tails cores. So there's one on the ground and there's one in the air. Switching to Knuckles and having Tails on the right. Hopefully he will then get the one in the air, just above there. Then switching to Tails, taking damage, and hopefully get the ground state, fire them both, hope they stick on. That's
one side.
incredibly good.
3 of us are unbeatable!
Phenomenal.
Time.
Phenomenal.
An absolutely amazing run.
Well, I mean, the second run, which was just Egg Emperor, was actually better than world record by a significant amount. So give it up for stylonide. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was Sonic Heroes. It's a really great game. It's full of a lot of great tricks and tech. There's a lot of variety across categories and teams, so I do recommend it. I just also recommend being good at it next time. And that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, my good friends, both in here in Adelaide and at home, we are ready for our next run. And it's a mega boost with the one, the only, Joester98.